This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association. Your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers, right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning broadcast team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, and Mark Magnuson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Riley Smith.
Well, good day and welcome to Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. Today is Thursday, January 26, 2023. We're so glad you could join us today. In today's episode of Ag Matters PM, I talk with Del Ficke, co-founder of Graze Master Group. We also have a check of that ag weather outlook, but first, let's run down the markets.
It's time now for the Ag Matters PM Closing Market Summary, your source for market analysis and settlement prices from the day's trade in Chicago, courtesy of the folks at agmarket.net.
Well, we're at the end of another trading day in the ag marketplace, and for a bit of analysis, we go to Kaden Sweeney of agmarket.net. First off, Kaden, what have we seen in the grain markets today?
Yeah, so for as bearish as Monday was, we've kind of seen it turn back the other way today. We've got grains up across the board. Corn's been up, 7 to 9 most of the day. Beans up close to 20 now, and wheat up 10 or so. So, like I said, we looked like we were down in the dumps Monday. We've turned it around. Corn and beans both positive on the week now. So definitely a little different song than we were singing on Monday.
So was this mostly a bit of rubber band action on this, or what news was pushing that move?
Yeah, it seems like everything's been in a pretty sideways trend here for a while, even a slight uptrend, but everything just feels cyclical. We kind of have a pretty good idea of demand, give or take a little. We got a pretty good idea of production. And so we're just letting the markets trade now. So once it gets down to a certain level, funds step in and start buying again and vice versa. So just feel like you kind of saw the bottom of the range Monday, probably getting close to peaking at the top today. But, time will tell. But it has been pretty sideways lately.
Right, so looking ahead, like I mentioned, Dustin just got back from his trip to Brazil, and he said the crops look even better than the rumors say. So looking forward to how that'll impact the markets, obviously, Brazil being that main competitor, what are we thinking we're going to see there?
Yeah, Brazil being huge is a little bit of detriment to us. The one saving grace has been, I think they're a little bit behind maybe where they normally are, maybe leaving our export window open just a little bit longer than it would be, which could be some more of the buying that you see today. But if they really fulfill this huge crop and are able to ship it out well, which they ought to be, it's going to put a ceiling, I guess, if you will, on our bean program and the top end. So certainly worth thinking about and being diligent in your marketing when you know that.
Then, of course, today we had the export sales report, and is it really another week of some friendly news for beans and wheat, but then corn is still kind of on that disappointing trend. Now, obviously, China has that agreement with Brazil to do a little bit of trade there, so that could detract from it. But otherwise, if we can get demand from countries like Brazil and maybe some other Asian countries, Japan, South Korea, do you think we'd be able to maybe make some headway on those really disappointing numbers we've seen from the corn markets?
Yeah, I think the story's still to be written somewhat on the corn market. It's been pretty well documented that exports have been slow to start the year. We're on sales, we're 45% behind where we were last year. It's certainly not a good thing. However, we've seen sales pick up a little bit here in the last week or two. Today's sales really weren't too bad. They were on the upper end of the range. Nothing extraordinary, but still pretty solid. But if China shows up in a big way, our export program should be okay. The USDA has already cut quite a bit in their last WASDE report. And so I certainly think it's a little bit excessive to expect exports to be on par with like the last 2 years. But I still think there's still room for them to be okay, if you will.
All right, and then looking at the other side of the ag marketplace and the livestock complex, what news are we seeing there today?
Yeah, we've finally seen hogs catch a little bit of life, I guess. Actually had a key reversal in April today where we made new lows really for this whole move, and then turn around and we're going to close higher. So you've got to feel good about that. Currently sitting around between 82 and 83 on April. I'm sorry, on 87. We're sitting around 87. The 82, 83 is kind of the low, so we really want to see that supported. But we had good action today in the hog market. Both cattle markets down a little bit today, but I think they're going to be okay. We're still in a good uptrend, nothing too serious, no technical damage done. So I think they're okay.
Right, and then we're at that time of year anyways for the livestock markets where they're usually quieter anyways, right?
That's right, yeah, and it's kind of sometimes gets to the point of, at least on the cattle side, you kind of get to where you're just watching the corn market. If corn's up, a lot of times cattle are down and vice versa. But pretty quiet news on the cattle front, although the fundamentals, I think, remain fairly supportive going forward.
All right, Kaden, lots of great information today. For those of our listeners and our viewers who would like to get in touch and learn more from the folks at agmarket.net, how can they do that?
Yeah, go to our website, agmarket.net. Our big conference in Nashville is coming up here a week from Monday. You still got time to get signed up. If you're interested, it's open to anybody. And then if you want to reach me directly, my line is 815-691-2672.
All right, great talking with you today, Kaden, and we look forward to hearing from you again soon.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
That again was Kaden Sweeney of agmarket.net. We'll go ahead and take a look at how those numbers closed. That's courtesy of the folks at Bar Chart. March corn is up 7 3/4 at 682 1/2. December new crop up 2 even at 590 even. March soybeans up 21 even at 1523 1/2. November new crop up 7 3/4 at 1352 1/2. March soybean meal up 1160 at 477.10. Soybean oil up 25 at 60.79. Chicago wheat up 11 1/4 at 752 1/2. Minneapolis spring wheat up 8 1/2 at 918 even. Kansas City hard red wheat up 21 1/2 at 864 3/4. March oats up 8 1/4 at 386 1/4. On the Merc, February live cattle down 87 at 156.72. January feeders up 17 at 179.57. February lean hogs up 22 at 77.02. February pork cutout down 15 at 84.37. January class 3 milk up 5 cents at 19.48. And that's been a check of the markets here on Ag Matters PM. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break to hear from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soy Checkoff. When we come back, I talk with Del Ficke of Graze Group. This is Ag Matters PM.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
Welcome back to Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. Most of the time when we think of carbon credits, we think of the opportunities for row crops, but there is also potential for farmers who have pasture as well. I recently talked with Del Ficke, co-founder of Graze Group, about how they're partnering with Agoro Carbon to provide these same carbon credit opportunities for livestock producers. We are here with Del Ficke. He's with Agoro Carbon, representing them today, talking about some interesting opportunities with carbon management. So first off, Del, just kind of introduce yourself, your position with Agoro and the relationship there, and how Agoro has a pretty interesting opportunity for carbon credits with pasture management.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Del Ficke with the Graze Group out of southeast Nebraska, Pleasant Hills, where we're located. The Agoro part of our portfolio was to add some, the financial component where we can really help these farmers and ranchers, especially on the livestock side of things, to get some dollars out of doing some pretty cool things with their soil and changing their operations. So we became a partner. The Graze Group became a partner with Agoro about 6 months ago now, and it's really added a lot of excitement to our existing clients and then the new ones we're talking to.
Right. So what kind of brought about the realization that there's a market here for carbon credits to kind of go through that pasture management and apply the same system that most farmers, when they think about it, are thinking about row crops?
Right, and I've actually had past in the carbon program and helped work on some pasture and rangeland options. That's the unique part of what Agoro and GrazeMaster are doing. Is this opportunity is only really through Agoro, and this opportunity is really not the best kept secret. We don't want that, but it's really the diamond in the rough on the carbon side, because people do, like you said, talk a lot about the row crop side. We talk about the biggest carbon sink is the ocean, the second is forest, but right in there in third place is pasture and rangeland. It's a beautiful carbon sink. It's really what God intended. He made it, into something that's already starting to pull it down, hold that carbon, build that soil. We're just finding ways to make it better, make that soil health better, and that equates to some dollars to these producers, which helps families and communities and everything like that.
So let's talk a little deeper on just how carbon credits work when it comes to pasture management, because I'm assuming it works a little bit differently from that row crop system.
Sure, on the row crop side, they're looking at reduced tillage and reducing some some nutrients and adding cover crops. Well, there's some similarities, because on the pasture rangeland side, we're looking at adding maybe some more diversity to some of this grassland, adding some different plants, some different species, maybe adding a little nutrient where we hadn't, and we really like to do that in a more of an all-natural kind of balanced type way. And then on the grazing side, everyone, including my operation at home, can do better with rotational grazing. The more animals, the more moves, the more days we can get cattle through there or sheep or whatever, we're building soil with those recycled nutrients.
Right, and then obviously a lot of these things, these practices that we're talking about, a lot of farmers do already. So this is kind of an opportunity, in the same way that carbon credits are working for row crops, to just get credit for stuff that you're already doing.
Yeah, really on the pasture and rangeland side, and especially working with a lot of cow herds, they're doing some of it, but they're not doing it very intensely. And when we start to just tweak that a little bit, make it more intensive, we're going to build the soil. The soil is going to be more resilient. It's going to hold water better, blah, blah, blah. But we get to that part of when we do these practices, we're getting a payment for the more carbon that we're sequestering through these. So it's kind of like a really cool deal. The more we do, the more we get out of it.
Exactly. And how would producers kind of get started along the lines of getting interested in this program and starting to implement it onto their farms and taking advantage of these carbon credit opportunities?
Absolutely. They can go to gracemastergroup.com. There's information there on the Agoro Carbon Alliance. They can go right to the Agoro site. They can talk to people like me, partners. We've got guys within our group all over the country. But just search Agoro Carbon Alliance, and good things will happen.
Right. And any other advice for producers who might be interested?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people don't think they'll qualify, and a lot of people don't think it's worth it. Nearly everyone qualifies, and it's nearly worth it for 100% of them.
All right. Well, that again was Del Ficke with Agoro Carbon Graze Master. Del, thanks again for taking the time to visit with us.
Thank you.
That again was Del Ficke of Graze Master Group. As for right now, let's go ahead and take a look at that ag weather outlook. Well, over tonight, we're looking at a chance for some snow flurries early on, but other than that, it's going to be a mostly clear night, a bit chilly, but then tomorrow, a little warmer since we'll have mostly sunny skies across most of the state, and then after that, we're trending colder once again. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the National Weather Service has in store for the next 24 hours. As you can see from the National Weather Service, we have a pretty nice couple of days here. Today we have partly sunny to sunny skies across most of the state with a chance for flurries in the northwest. Highs ranging from the upper 20s to upper 30s. Tonight it'll be partly cloudy to start the night with rain or snow likely in the northwest, and then patchy snow in the early morning across the state. Lows ranging from the single digits to low 20s. And tomorrow we have a slight chance for snow, then partly to mostly sunny skies with a potential for blowing snow across the state. Highs ranging from the low 30s to about 40. And taking a look at the affiliate weather map for tomorrow, Cherokee will be partly sunny with a chance for snow flurries and a high around 33. Shenandoah mostly sunny and a high of 40. Des Moines partly sunny, a chance for snow flurries and a high of 37. Waterloo looking to see some of those snow chances and a high of 36. Albia rain or snow and a high of 38. And Clinton will see a chance for snow or blowing snow and a high of around 35. For more detailed forecasts in your part of the state, make sure to check in with your local Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network affiliate. And that's been a check of the Ag Weather Outlook, and that also brings us to the end of this episode of Ag Matters PM. You can find all of our content on our website at iowaagnet.com. You can also follow us on social media at Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and LinkedIn. And you can find all of our video content as well as previous episodes of AMPM on our YouTube channel. So make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to see when those videos go live. Don't forget as well our free Twice Daily Market podcast on Apple, Amazon, Google, Spotify, and Podbean. From the IRN studios in Des Moines, I'm Riley Smith. On behalf of Mark Magnuson and Dustin Huffman, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.